Merry Meet, and welcome to the daily reading for all signs for today, the 16th of October, 2024. This is Ariel Gatoga, and today we are reading with this beautiful Magic of Tarot by Liz Dean. Let's purify with this Vervain, or is it? No, it's called Verbena by Poignée d'Essence. 3 sprays in this big room is more than sufficient. You can find links to purchase those products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. Let's see what's in the cards for everybody today. Starting out with the 2 of coins, followed by the 4 of coins, and then the 3 of swords. So, you know, the coins are everything, but the idea of impatience in regards to money or some kind of outcome is what's setting you up for disappointment. And you don't want to project your impatience or your fears into the future. That's not a good use of the mind, because what that does is it keeps us kind of stuck in cycles. And so instead it's telling you, no, get some things ordered today. Get some things organized instead of worrying, instead of being impatient, instead of saying, oh no, it's got to be a certain way. It's saying get some things in order. Hold on, I just dropped a card. Get some things in order. Find something that's out of order. It doesn't have to be everything. Find something that's out of order and put it in order. And then when you do that, that puts what is you're in charge of in your hands, and then symbolically take your hands off of everything else. I'm going to clean out this drawer. And as I clean out this drawer, I'm going to let the universe take care of everything else. I'm going to clean out this closet. That's all I have to do. And as I clean out this closet, I take my hands off of everything else and let the universe take care of it for me. And then you're not setting yourself up for the ego to tell you, see, I told you, right? Because that's what the ego wants, is to prove that it's right. And it's not up to you to prove that the ego is wrong. It's up to you to disregard the ego altogether. And the way you do that is by finding these kinds of tools, these kinds of protocols like this. This is called household magic. Finding something that's out of order, one thing, not your whole life, just one thing, and get busy on it and take your hands and your mind off of everything else. Okay, let's put some other cards out here. King of Wands, nice. Ooh, 7 of coins, that's very nice. Chariot, that's wonderful. Yeah, so this is almost like a whole new kind of panel of reality that's an overlay. So instead of being impatient about the way you think things should be working out, it looks like financially, or maybe for some of you health-wise, it's saying focusing not only on, like I said, that's something that you can just do with your conscious mind when you're worried about things, is just to get something in order and take your mind off of it and let the universe take care of the stuff that seems so big. But in addition to that, it's saying, you know, you're selling yourself short by putting all of your attention on, no, this money thing has to work out. It's just like this money thing. It's just such a small thing in the scheme of things, whatever this is, or this health thing. It's really not that big of a deal. And to the universe, it's no deal. It's nothing. And that's not what you're about. You're not just this financial issue or this bill or whatever it is that you're being so impatient about. You're so vast and you have so much that you are contributing to the world. That's where your energy is meant to be focused, not on these little nothings that the universe wants to, that the ego wants to blow up and make to seem bigger than life. Why do you think that is? So that you can get your mind off of your purpose, so that you don't function as your soul came to function. That's why the ego does that. It makes it seem like it's such an important thing, whatever this bill is or whatever, when in reality, the universe has that taken care of for you right now, but can't do anything for you unless you let it, unless you allow it, which is why, we were telling you, get your mind busy on something productive and let everything else go, because what that does is it takes care of this seemingly huge problem, which is not a problem, which is not a big deal, and puts you back doing what you're supposed to do. So, and when you're back doing what you're supposed to do, the finances not only get a resolution where there was a problem, but they get a complete upgrade. The universe isn't going to say, oh, okay, we're going to pay this bill. Jeez. All you do is bug us, Of course, it's going to be bigger than paying the bill. It's going to be a complete upgrade in all of your finances. Why? Because you're working on a higher level altogether by doing what you came here to do, getting your mind off of the smallness and back onto the grandeur, which is who you are and why you're here. And everybody's so different, and you're so unique, and you are very talented, and you're very good at what you do, and your passions and the things that you love are very important to you, and nobody can do what you do the way you do it. Even if your ego has spent your entire life trying to diminish your value, you can't diminish your value. All you can diminish is your experience of your value. So as soon as you recognize who you are as a valuable soul, everything starts to work differently because you've put your focus where it belongs rather than on this little fakakta money problem, whatever it is. It's not that big of a deal in the scheme of things. When you do that, not only does your bill get paid, but your whole financial experience or whatever, if it's health and your whole health experience, it's not just that one condition gets healed, but the whole thing gets an upgrade. The whole thing gets an upgrade. And therefore, instead of ducking and covering and bracing for impact like you've been doing, what you have is a complete victory. And you ride in your chariot like the conquering hero that you are. So instead of bracing for impact, you go and collect all of the booty from winning the war. And those are old images. I know that we don't like to think in terms of things like war, but that's how the tarot, the tarot is very ancient. But the war meaning the battle between of just surviving in the world, or whatever your particular issues and problems have been that have been kind of taking up all of your attention and taking your attention away from your real actual work, your real purpose here. And so your job, the reason why this is such a powerful exercise that we talked about earlier, just get something to do, something to clean up, one small project. And that's the only thing you have to do. And you're letting the universe take care of everything else. Everything else is no longer your responsibility. When you do that, you take it off of your hands, off of your shoulders, out of your mind, and automatically you come back to who you are as a soul. You come back to your identity, and it becomes very apparent why you're here. Why you're here is the things that you love and the things that you're good at. And then that's the only thing that starts to occupy your mind. And when that happens, everything just kind of rearranges itself, it comes back into balance. You have that complete upgrade, and you have an absolute win in every regard. And so where it was this idea that, oh my gosh, it's coming, it's gonna crash, everything's gonna be so bad, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? That it completely not only gets resolved, but it's the opposite. You are the complete winner. You're the one that collects $200 and get out of jail free. You bypass all of the problems that the ego has been suggesting that are on their way, and instead of just bypassing them and solving them, you become the absolute victor in all regards. And that's simply because you have embraced who you are and why you're here, and you're no longer letting the ego have control over what you focus on. You're no longer worried about every little thing and being impatient about every little thing. You're letting every little thing be taken care of by a power that knows how to handle all those little things that really have nothing to do with you ultimately. You're just going to focus on one thing. And then when you're no longer worried about things, you won't have to focus on that one thing, and you can just focus on why you're here. What do you love? What are the things that you love? What are you here to do? You know what you're here to do. You know what you love. You know what your favorite parts of life are. You know what you're good at, right? And that's why you're here. And when you are actively owning, because that's what kings are, is ownership. When you're actively owning your talents, actively owning your passions and the things that you love, everything has to change to support that. But when you let the ego say, oh, but that bill or that thing, then your focus comes off of where it's supposed to be and is put on such small little things and based on fear. And when you are afraid of small little things, everything looks like it's going to attack you and crumble around you. And that's why you've been bracing for impact so much. Waiting for the other shoe to fall, waiting for the worst thing to possibly happen. Well, if you don't do anything about it, then you can just expect something along those lines. So don't do that. If you're worried about money, then get something in order. If you're worried about your health, then get something in order. And when you do that, make sure that it's not just, I'm going to clean this room, but the only thing I have to do is clean this room. Everything else regarding my physical universe is being taken care of by a higher power. I have this to do, and everything else is being done for me. Then it frees up your mind so that you can get back to doing what you're supposed to do. If you're getting back to putting your focus on your life's purpose, everything changes, everything comes to you, and you're a success regardless of what's ever happened in the past or whatever. None of that matters. Okay, so you have one trump card here. So should you desire to listen to a meditation to sort of help optimize this reading today, which is not a bad idea, you may want to listen to the meditation for the chariot card that I have called Victory in Battle. And if you look at the video description of this video on YouTube, you will find the link to all those tarot meditations. It's a wonderful reading. Thank you so much for being here today. We'll see you all tomorrow for another daily reading. Until then, blessed be.